The world does not give you what you want, it gives you who you are. Most people live as reactionary pawns. They wait for life to happen to them, then they react. But the top 1%? They operate on a different frequency. They understand that reality is not a solid wall, it's a reflection of your internal frame. If you think like a victim, the world will provide you with oppressors. But if you learn to architect your mind with the precision of a sovereign, the universe begins to bend to your commands. Today, we aren't talking about wishful thinking. We are decoding the cold, hard mechanics of psychological framing, the mental cheat code that allows you to get whatever you want by changing the way you perceive the game. In the realm of high-stakes psychology, your frame is the invisible structural boundary that defines every interaction, negotiation, and social hierarchy you enter. It is the psychological lens through which reality is filtered. Most people walk through life with a reactive frame. They are constantly adjusting their behavior to suit the expectations of others, effectively living as guests in someone else's reality. But to get whatever you want, you must establish a sovereign frame. This is the unwavering internal conviction that you are the center of gravity in the room. Machiavelli understood that power is not just about what you possess, but about the aura of certainty you project. When you enter a room with a sovereign frame, you aren't looking for approval or checking to see if you are liked. You operate under the absolute assumption of high value. You move slower, you speak with pauses, and you maintain eye contact because you are not afraid of the silence. This shift in mindset triggers a biological response in others. Because human beings are evolutionary hardwired to follow the most certain individual, they will unconsciously begin to align with your reality. If your frame is I am here to take what is mine, the world begins to rearrange itself to accommodate that claim. You stop being a hopeful candidate and start being the only solution. By mastering this internal architecture, you shift from being a pawn that is moved by external circumstances to being the grandmaster who defines the board itself. Remember, he who has the strongest frame defines reality for everyone else. To understand how thinking a certain way practically manifests your desires, you must look at the psychology of detachment. In any high-stakes exchange, be it a multi-million-dollar contract, a career-defining interview, or a social power play, the person with the most need is the one with the least power. Most people fail to get what they want because they approach the world with a scarcity frame. Their mind is shouting, "I need this to happen," and that desperation leaks through their pores. It shows up in high-pitched tonality, fidgeting, and the over-explaining of their value. Real-life masters of reality, like elite CEOs and Machiavellian strategists, use the paradox of the walk-away. They enter a negotiation having already won it in their minds. They adopt the frame of abundance. By thinking, "This deal is a massive opportunity for you, but only a minor detail for me," they create a psychological reality warp. Because they are genuinely willing to walk away, they don't sweat, they don't compromise, they don't chase. This internal certainty creates a vacuum that the other party feels compelled to fill. When you think from a position of already having, you stop behaving like a beggar and start behaving like a benefactor. In the eyes of the world, value is perceived where it is least pursued. By detaching your ego from the immediate outcome and maintaining a frame of absolute abundance, you force the world to chase you. You don't get what you want by wanting it, you get it by becoming a man who is so high value that the outcome is merely a formality. This is the art of subconscious dominance, making the world realize that it needs you more than you will ever need it. There is a cold biological mechanism behind why thinking a certain way physically changes your results, and it's located in the brainstem, the reticular activating system. Your RAS acts as the ultimate gatekeeper. It filters out millions of bits of useless data every second, only allowing information that aligns with your current focus to reach your conscious mind. If you operate from a scarcity frame, believing the world is a hostile place, filled with scams and dead ends, your RAS will literally hide opportunities from you. You will walk past $1 million idea or a life-changing connection because your brain has flagged those things as irrelevant to your worldview. Masters of the sovereign frame understand that they must program this filter before they even step out of bed. By adopting the mindset that every person I encounter is a potential asset or a stepping stone to my empire, you are not performing magic, you are biohacking your perception. Suddenly, your brain begins to highlight patterns, loopholes, and high-value connections that were invisible to you just 24 hours ago. You start noticing the body language of power in a room, the subtle market gaps in a conversation, and the weaknesses in an opponent's logic that others miss because they are too busy worrying about their own insecurities. This is why the rich get richer and the successful find more success. It's not just luck, it's selective perception. They are looking for the win while the average man is looking for the exit. You aren't manifesting opportunities out of thin air. You are finally seeing the tools that have been lying at your feet the entire time. When you change the search query of your mind, the universe is forced to reveal its hidden data. You stop being a blind traveler and become a strategic navigator who sees the world in high-definition clarity. To the masses, it looks like luck. To the sovereign, it's just the logical result of an optimized filter. The final, and perhaps most brutal, stage of this psychological transformation is the Machiavellian Pivot. You must understand that you cannot reach a new destination while clinging to the identity of the person who is currently lost. To get whatever you want, you must commit a form of identity suicide. You must kill the small self, the version of you that is comfortable with mediocrity, hesitant in speech, and fearful of risk. You cannot manifest $1 million empire while maintaining the habits and thought patterns of a minimum wage mind. This is the ultimate think like this hack. Assume the throne before it is given to you. In the corridors of power, no one gives you authority. You take it by behaving as if it were already a historical fact. You do not wait for the bank account to hit 6 figures before you start being disciplined. You become a man of iron discipline so that the bank account has no choice but to follow. You don't wait for the title of leader to start making decisive moves. You move with such calculated precision that people naturally look to you for direction. When your internal certainty becomes higher than the world's external doubt, reality hits a breaking point and begins to align with your vision. This is not about pretending, it is about a total psychological overhaul where you stop being a hopeful seeker and start being a sovereign architect. You make decisions today based on the future you have already claimed. By operating from the end goal, you eliminate the vibration of wanting and replace it with the gravity of ownership. When you walk, talk, and decide like a man who already has everything he desires, the universe realizes that denying you is a waste of time. You don't ask for reality to change, you command it to catch up to the man you have already become. The game of life is won or lost in the 6 inches between your ears. If you remain a slave to your current circumstances, you will never leave them. But if you choose to adopt the sovereign frame today, you will start seeing doors where others see walls. You have the blueprint. Now you must build the empire. If you are ready to master your mindset and command your reality, hit that subscribe button and join the 1%. Comment reality bends below if you are ready to claim what is yours. Stay sharp, move in silence, stay sovereign.